Now, back to Matt and your morning news.
KTRH News Time is 7:16. Joining me right now, Councilwoman Jolanda Jones and Dr. Good morning, Jolanda. Thanks for taking the time. Dr. Jack Christie also with us. Dr. Christie, welcome to Houston's Morning News.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you both here. Jolanda, let me play something for you, and then I'm going to get your thoughts on it.
Technically, I tagged the item on the agenda because HPD did not answer questions that were directly related to if we actually have tested any rape kits.
There is money available to test these rape kits, up to 6,000 of them that are backlogged. It comes in two different stages. The first stage would allow HPD to find out why there's such a backlog of rape kits. The second would help them test the rape kits. And you tag this, Councilwoman.
That's actually interesting you said that, because that's not what HPD sent to me. HPD actually said that the grant is for research. So then my next question was, well, if the grant is for research, why are you telling people it's to test rape kits? You see my confusion?
Well,
and my concern?
But Councilwoman, if I can find this information, I would assume that you would have been able to find this information as well.
I have a written document where they say that the grant was for research, not for testing. So why are they giving you one piece of information and giving me a separate piece of information? My
understanding of it, and Dr. Christie, if you want to jump in here, you feel free, is that this grant comes in two stages. There's money that the HPD would use to research why there is so much of a backlog. Is that how you understand this, Dr. Christie?
Yes, I do. And, it just all comes down to, do we trust the Houston Police Department? 98% of those men and women in blue are good people, and they're keeping you safe at night and during the day. And we've got to have some type of trust reinstated with them. And there's just not a good relationship with the incumbent council member. And
Matt, I actually will respectfully disagree.
All right.
I vote for the majority of HPD's request to us. Here's the problem: we gave them a grant before. I've asked them, how many rape kits have we tested? They have not told me and cannot tell me. I asked how much went for research and how much went for testing kits and how many. They have not answered those questions. I also asked, because as a part of the other grant, they were supposed to hire people under the guise of actually testing kits. Who have we hired? How many people have we hired? They haven't answered that. They can't answer those questions, and they have not answered the questions. So while they may have given you some answers, the answers that they gave me, first of all, were inconsistent, and they certainly were not the answers that they gave you.
All right, Jolanda, Jolanda, hang on for me. If you guys would hang on 1 second. When we come back, let's dig into this just a little bit further. Also, let's see if between the three of us we can initiate what might be the solution to this, and talk a little bit about the runoff coming up here on December 10th. KTRH News Time is 7:22. Joining me this morning, Councilwoman Jolanda Jones and Dr. Jack Christie. Let me start with you this time, Dr. Christie. How would you, going forward, deal with this money that's available to test the rape kits? We first have to, of course, use the research grant. How would you take care of this problem?
Well, all politics, or positive politics, is built on relationships with other elected officials, and that is the basis for this. If you had a decent relationship with the Houston Police, which is mandatory for a safe city, you could have these answers in a minute. But the sad thing is this delay. The victims are put off. These kids need to be tested. And they need to be tested now. You've got $800,000 to do it, and to delay that is an abuse of the victims that we have in the city.
Councilwoman Jones, what would we need to do to get you to help this move forward?
Matt, let me say this. First of all, no one wants these rape kits tested more than me. I'm a victim of familial sexual abuse by my uncle when I was 8. The problem is you cannot say that you're testing something when you're not. And I quote, this is HPD's response to almost every question. When I ask how many rape kits have we tested, how many are going to be tested, there are not going to be $800,000 worth of tests done. But this is their answer, and I quote, this grant is for research. We have just managed to use an innovative approach that allowed us to squeeze out the funding for the processing of some of the kits. I'm sorry. I am going to move forward, ask questions, because HPD has not told anyone, including me, how many tests have been tested, how many tests are going to be tested. They have not answered any questions about whether this will actually be used to test any kits, therefore giving rape victims justice. Rape victims deserve justice. They do not deserve to be told that we are giving them justice and testing things when we are not.
Councilwoman,
and I have a responsibility to them, and I have a responsibility to taxpayers to make sure that if HPD is going to use the money for a specific purpose, that they use it for that purpose.
Councilwoman, thank you. Let me get Councilwoman, thank you. Let me get Dr. Christie. I've got about 30 seconds, sir. Go ahead. You can wrap it up.
Yeah, that's ludicrous to say that the Houston police do not care about the victims of rape. That's just sad, because I'm telling you, I know a lot of the Houston police men and women, and they care about these victims. They incarcerated some of these perpetrators.
Dr. Christie, I thank you. I thank you both for coming on with me today. Obviously, we're not going to be able to come to any conclusions now. December 10th is when the runoff takes place. I thank you both, Councilwoman Jones, Dr. Jack Christie, for joining us here this morning.